Mary, and today I am here to review a book that blew my mind, and that is Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. So this book centers around our main character. Her name is Vera Crowder. Now, right away, we know that she hasn't seen her mom in 12 years, but her mom calls her kind of out of the blue and says, please come home, and explains that she's ill and wants Vera to take care of the house. So, we start right away with Vera heading back to her childhood home, which they call Crowder House, after their last name. Her dad built it. And coming home is pretty difficult for Vera for a variety of reasons. Her mother withheld love in her childhood. In fact, she was kicked out at 18, and you hear a little bit about, what her life has been like since then, kind of bouncing from job to job. And, oh yeah, the big thing, her father, Francis, was a serial killer who kept and murdered men in the basement. So we have that added bonus of it being hard for her to return home to the scene of these really gruesome crimes. Now, her mom is named Daphne, and Daphne and her, they get their reunion, and she's really different from the last time Vera saw her. She's definitely ill. In fact, very ill. Vera wonders, kind of when she might pass. And sometimes Vera feels like a kid again, with her mom being really mean. Really will make you appreciate your own mother. But, her mom insists, don't call me mom. You can call me Daphne. I always hated you. You stole your father from me. He loved you more than me, so I hate you. Very unkind things. But then, every so often, for like this brief moment, Daphne will share this like really kind memory, or talk about, oh, as soon as I gave birth to you, I knew I loved you. Anyway, the relationship is really interesting. Now, so Daphne has changed, her mother, but the house itself has not physically changed too terribly much since the last time Vera saw it. The biggest change would be that her mom has been renting out this detached shed/office to anyone who is interested in the house, be that reporter or a string of artists who do these macabre pieces related to what happened at the house. And the current tenant is named James, and he's gonna make you roll your eyes. I disliked his character a lot. He reminded me of one of those people who's like, oh, I can commune with the house. And then he makes his art based off of his feelings. But the reason I disliked him is because he is kind of like this alpha male personality, and he thinks that he has free reign of anything in the house. So at one point, Vera finds letters that her father wrote to her that her mom didn't share when Vera was a child and her father had been taken to prison. And before she's even able to read them, they're gone. So, he comes into her bedroom without consequence, and you're not going to like this artist either. So those are kind of our three main characters in Just Like Home. Now, there's a lot of current time and with Vera explaining what's going on, but we also get past perspectives as well. So when we get these past perspectives, the reader is filled in on the truth behind Crowder House, Vera's family, and truly what happened in the house. You learn so much so quickly that it feels really wild, because there's just so many layers to what is happening and what has happened in the past. One of the most fascinating look backs is Vera reflecting on her relationship with her father. So yes, he may have been this now infamous serial killer, responsible for fairly gruesome murders. But to Vera, it's confusing because he was a great father figure. He was full of wisdom. He was full of kindness to her when she was a child. So yeah, it's interesting and confusing, and yeah. In the present day, there are some really weird, disturbing, creepy things that keep happening to Vera. She finds these cryptic things that maybe her dad had written for her in weird places all around the house. Um, there's like deep scratches underneath her bed that her dad had built for the house for her when they moved into this house. Obviously, I don't want to spoil anything, but there are definitely secrets that the Crowder house is keeping. So again, not gonna tell you what happens at the end, but it is so unexpected. I feel like I'm barely telling you about this book. You just have to read it. I'm one of those people who is always trying to figure out what is going to happen, whether I'm watching a TV show or reading a book, and I could not predict this. It blew my mind. So if you are a fan of, the show The Haunting of Hill House, also a book, or The Haunting of Bly Manor, or The Shining, Just Like Home will be right up your alley. It starts a little slow, but the payoff is so over the top, immersive, and atmospheric that it ends up being a nearly perfect read. And if you read it, let me know what you think. Thank you for joining me for this book review.